be right.
On your journey to becoming healthy, sometimes snacks are the biggest mountain to climb. If your snack leaves you with a 20-minute sugar high and then void of all energy, you need to stick with Tim and me because we are in his firehouse kitchen and we're ready to make some snacks that are power-packed with nutrients.
Well, it looks like we've got everything here. What are we making today?
Well, we're gonna make 5 different recipes from a couple dips, granola bars. We're gonna make some frozen yogurt pops and even peanut butter power balls, one of my favorites. And we've got tips and tricks too. So I think it'll be a really good Power Snacks episode and you're gonna love every minute of it. So the first Power Snacks we're gonna make today are 2 different dips. I've got cinnamon peanut butter dip and Tim's got skinny dip belay that he's gonna get started on.
All right, we'll get started. This is my first time making it, but it's a pretty simple recipe, just 3 ingredients. We're gonna start with our refried beans here.
So a full can of those. And refried beans actually make a great addition to a dip because they get really creamy as they heat up.
All right, sounds good. Second here.
And they're just pinto beans. A lot of people don't know that.
Start with our salsa, and you can use any salsa.
Yeah.
I mean, even homemade salsa, which we have on our website.
Like your fiery salsa?
Yes, so if you want to try that recipe and this recipe, you can. So we're all done. Set that over here.
Yeah, and that one was, I think, Frontera that Rick Bayless makes. It's a delicious kind of salsa. And
here we go.
There's like pineapple salsa and, raspberry chipotle salsa, so any kind you want to use would be fine.
All right, now we've got that nice and mixed, and we're going to use about a cup of corn here.
Yeah, and you could use frozen or canned. Remember we said in the grocery tour, next to fresh, frozen is best. So I think the taste of like frozen corn tastes even better than canned. Or you could use fresh. And you can even throw more in there.
And I've got the oven preheated, so it's ready and warmed up there. And you say about 350?
Yeah, 350.
The oven too?
Yes. Right. So for about 20 minutes or until it gets all bubbly. And then you guys can top this with whatever you want, like low-fat shredded cheese or tomatoes or light sour cream or, like you said, Greek yogurt.
Yeah, I would love to also chopped peppers personally. I love red, green peppers. Anytime I can get those in on a meal, I definitely like to. And so now we're going to top ours with a little bit of shredded cheese here.
It's also interesting to mention what we've got right here is an example of a serving size of tortilla chips. This is 1 serving. It's 7 chips. 7 chips and that's it.
Not going to fill you up, huh?
No, I mean, who eats 7 chips, really? Usually when you get that big bag, you eat half of it.
No, that's your first handful.
Yeah, and not to mention, chips are expensive. Like, they're not very cheap at all. They're about $4 a bag. And then this is queso dip. So if you put that together, that's over 300 calories and 15 grams of fat. Ours is gonna be half that. And we're gonna show you ooh, that looks good.
Yep.
We're gonna show you a really cool chip that you can make that's gonna be high protein and very low fat that you can bake in the oven.
All right,
so into the oven?
Yes, I will get this in the oven.
Okay, so while he's doing that, I'm gonna make our cinnamon peanut butter dip. Start off with a half cup of peanut butter, and then we're gonna add to that 1 container of light vanilla yogurt. I know you're a Yoplait guy.
I'm a yogurt guy, so
okay.
There's all kinds of yogurt at our house.
So we added about half the container of yogurt, and when we add the yogurt, we're gonna add a ton of calcium, but we're also diluting out the fat that's in the peanut butter. Even though it's healthy fat, it's still fat, so we're just gonna dilute it out a little bit. And as we're doing that, Tim, would you sprinkle in about a half teaspoon of cinnamon? That's the cinnamon part of our dip. Cinnamon into this dip. Scientifically, it promotes good feelings in the brain. I don't know if you've ever walked into a house that smells like cinnamon and you just feel good. It like gives you that endorphin release or those good chemicals in your brain that make you feel good. What I like to do is this is so easy, you guys. This is a great tip. Instead of expensive candles, just take your cinnamon. Everybody's got cinnamon in your pantry, so take your ground cinnamon and put it on a baking sheet, just like this. And you can put as much of it as you want on your baking sheet and then put it in the oven at like 300. And I'll let you do that. So we can make this firehouse smell nice and cinnamony instead of manly.
People are going to come in and really wonder what we've been cooking in here.
That's right. Okay, so that is our dip. And then what I serve it with is a bunch of chopped veggies and fruit. So you can do apples, bananas, carrots, bell peppers, celery. And this would also be a perfect after-school snack, because a lot of times when your kids come home, they're going to eat whatever they see out on the counter. And your kids are going to love it. Let's give it a try. Really? I think it's really yummy. You want to get your dip out of the oven and try it?
Yeah, let's go for that. Better get an oven mitt.
Okay, and what we did for this, instead of those chips of death that are going to clog our arteries and give us high cholesterol, we made chips out of flat-out wraps. You could do this with any wrap or any pita, and you just cut it up, spray it with cooking spray, put some salt or some oregano on it, and then toast it, and it's delicious.
Yeah, they got nice and crispy, didn't they?
So much better for you. Yeah, they do. They get really crispy. I fix these for everybody at work, and they just disappear. And I did the same thing for our cinnamon dip. We put cinnamon and Splenda on them. Good?
It's excellent. I was going to ask you about that.
Oh
I saw
my
those there.
That's so good. You did a good job.
Well, you know.
Our next power snack I call Yum Yum granola bars. And who knew granola bars are so easy to make at home? I used to think granola bars were really healthy, like the kind you get at the store.
You'd think.
You would think, but you gotta be smart and you gotta be savvy. And one of the things that we need to remember is that we are always saying the way to change what you eat more than anything, the way to motivate that change is to find out what you're putting in your body. The best place to do that is not the label, it's the ingredients list. We call that your source of truth. So you're gonna look at that source of truth, and what I want Tim to do while I'm starting to mix up our granola bars is, Tim, I want you to count the number of times you see a sugary word in the ingredients list.
All right, all those hidden words.
Yeah, all those hidden words. And so we have to remember that doesn't just include sugar. It includes what? Glucose,
sucrose,
brown sugar, corn syrup,
corn syrup,
high fructose corn syrup,
that's
molasses. I mean, there's several different words you got to look for. So I'll let you do that while I get started.
All right.
So to start off our Yum Yum granola bars, you just need an egg. And Tim, not to interrupt you, but do you know the difference between a brown egg and a white egg nutritionally?
The shell is the only thing that's different.
That's right.
Yeah, there's
Good
no
job.
difference. Just the color of the shell.
Thoroughly impressed.
But the brown looks so much neater.
Well, and I think I know
they look healthier, right?
It does. Yeah, I think a lot of times we kind of always think that brown, because brown bread is better than white.
Exactly.
We think it's always better, but nope, no difference. So white or brown egg doesn't matter. An egg is going to have at least 7 grams of protein in it, and there's lots of vitamin D in that yolk. So don't skip on the yolk. It's fine to eat the yolk. And we are going to talk more about vitamin D, but you need it, and you need it every day. And then we're going to add a half cup of yogurt, whatever kind of vanilla yogurt. You want it to be vanilla flavored.
Well, it looks like, if I didn't miss any, 11, I believe I counted.
11 different kinds of sugar?
Yeah. So
sugar listed 11 times, okay.
Yes, sugar listed 11 times, which I would venture to say that if we were to count all the different things that are in here, that I would say that's probably going to be top of the list there.
If we put them all together,
it would be
first.
It would have the most times mentioned, but I could be wrong. I haven't actually checked that. But
no, you're probably right.
Going out on a guess there.
So the recipe that we're making now would be a perfect swap out for those store-bought granola bars. And these are going to be less, whenever we make things at home, it's less expensive than when we buy them at the store. So I just added a half cup of, I use Splenda brown sugar because most of the people that I make things for are diabetics. So Splenda brown sugar is a perfect substitute for any diabetic in your life, and it's okay for everybody. But if all you have at home is regular brown sugar, that's fine to use too. Because you're still, can you measure that for me?
Yeah.
You're still using a lot less sugar than you would be getting in a boxed product. Okay, so next, we're gonna add a cup and a half of, not instant oats, just the quick oats. And if you guys remember, this was one of our budget power foods. Yeah, so they were budget power food because they're so inexpensive. And like we said, they're gonna help lower your cholesterol and keep your heart healthy. High in fiber. The next thing we're gonna add is 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Now, I didn't lose you, did I? Stay with me. I know flaxseed is something that a lot of us haven't used in our kitchen before. So what is ground flaxseed? Well, it's a seed that's been ground. Imagine that. Ground flaxseed, it looks just like this, if you can see it right here. The thing, we're just gonna use 2 tablespoons of it. And what ground flaxseed is it's super high in healthy fats and fiber. So it's high in vitamin E and healthy fats. Sometimes we forget that we need those every day. Get some more healthy fats like from flaxseed or from our next ingredient, which is walnuts, if you wanna throw those